Hello everyone, I'm JD and I'm super excited to be playing Final Fantasy VI with you guys. This is hands down my favorite Final Fantasy game and quite possibly my favorite video game of all time. I found out that it turned 27 back on April 2nd, so I thought, you know what? What the heck? I want to play this game again. And I want to watch it to do it with all of you. So, Final Fantasy VI was released on April 2nd, 1994 in Japan, and later in September of that year in America for the Super Nintendo. And then in 1999 it was released as part of a collection with Final Fantasy V on the PlayStation 1. It was then re-released on the Game Boy Advance in 2006, and then a new version with different graphics on the Android and iOS in 2014, and then for Windows in 2015. I'm playing the Steam version, which is based on the Android and iOS, so I can pretty much say I played every version of this game. So as we go along, I'll talk about each version and their strengths and weaknesses, and just why I love this game so much. So let's get started, shall we? Oh my gosh, I love this game so much. Okay, so like I said, I'm playing on Steam, which is the Android and iOS versions. Oh. So the graphic, then the Super Nintendo, PlayStation, and Game Boy Advance versions. Okay, so our first fight. So our characters are in Magitech armor, and with Magitech armor, they have 3 attacks: Fire Beam, which is Fire Elemental, Thunder Beam, which is Lightning Elemental, and Ice Beam. Guess what element that is? As well as a healing ability called Healing Force. So basically, you can just plow through everything with Fire Beam. Now, our green-haired character right here has a couple extra abilities, which I'll be showcasing. Bioblast, Confuser, Banisher, and Magitech Missile. So Bioblast is a poison elemental attack, which poison elemental actually tends to deal more damage to humanoid characters, so not a bad thing to use against the guards. So if we go this way, okay, so we're fighting for an empire. Oh dear, these guys really don't stand a chance, do they? Let's see, let's try... Well, yeah, we'll do Confuser. Okay, so Confuser deals Confusion. Confusion is a status effect which causes the character inflicted with it to attack friend, foe, themselves. With enemies, it's indicated by them facing in the opposite direction from normal. With your characters, you spin around with their arms up and a little green circle appears above their head. One of the many status effects in this game. Poison is another one. Okay, let's try Banisher, see if that works. And it basically just removes the enemy from battle. Permanently. Now, the green-haired character is the only one to have those abilities. Oh. We're surrounded. Okay, surrounded, or as it was known in the original, a pincer attack. First off, if you're caught in a pincer attack, you can't escape until you clear out one side of the fight. Oh, shoot. Yeah, let's Magitech Missile this guy. So now that that side of the field is clear, if we wanted to, we could escape. Now, the other thing to note is, if your back is to an enemy, and the enemy attacks that character will take extra damage. Oh, she gained a level. Okay, onward! So... Defend the mines! I want to kill her. He took some hits. And we can just hit everybody with Bioblast. So let's open the menu real quick. On a controller, an Xbox controller, you'd hit the Y button to do that. So we've got our green-haired leader, a Magitech Elite, which is why she has extra abilities with her Magitech armor. And then Biggs and Wedge. Now, these two characters are named after the pilots, in the Rebel Army from Star Wars A New Hope. This was actually the first Final Fantasy game they appeared in, and from then on they became recurring characters in the Final Fantasy series. Much like almost every Final Fantasy game has Moogles, a Cid, Chocobos, that sort of thing. You can look at our items, potion and high potion abilities. This character has magic. Magic is divided into healing, attack, and status. Status is gray, healing is white, attack is black. So kind of like black magic, white magic, and gray magic, I guess, for lack of a better. Equipment. We can only check her equipment. So characters can have a weapon, a shield, armor, a helmet, and relics, which we'll learn more about later. This also shows their stats, strength, which affects attack and physical abilities, speed, which is your speed, stamina, which affects health regeneration and poison damage, and magic, which affects your magic. We can also see your attack, defense, evasion, magic defense, and magic evasion. Now, funny thing, in the original version, there was a bug on the evasion stat, which meant that it was worthless. All of your evasion and magic evasion was in the same stat, the magic evasion stat. So, any relics that increased your evasion or equipment that increased your evasion didn't actually do anything. Now, if it increased your magic evasion, it did. And that bug was fixed with the Game Boy Advance version, along with many others. Anyway, let's go into this mine shaft and search for that Esper. Whatever an Esper is. Ooh, shiny. Sure. Well, that's nice. Ooh. Okay, were-rats. Alright, so these things are poison elemental, so don't use the Bioblast. Just plow through them with Fire Beam. Oh, I had to change that. Okay, going back into the menu real quick to, let's see, config, battle mode, battle messages, battle window, HEB gauge, re-equip, optimize, person position. Okay, person position, there are two you can keep, you can have. Remember means that whatever that character did last, the game will remember it, and when you go to select for them again, it will automatically be on that command that you chose. Reset means that it automatically defaults back to the original every turn. That's what I want, because it's way too easy to screw that up. And you can also play music in the on the configuration screen, like the Prelude, which is one of my favorite video game tracks of all time. Specifically this version. Anyway. Okay. Bestiary, we can pull it up and look at all the monsters we fought. If you want to fill it out completely, I'll show you how you can do that. Where rat? I'll tell you the number of slain, their level, HP, MP, how much gil you get from them, how much experience you get them, their stats, what you can steal from them, what they drop, and if you hit... Oh, left bumper goes, oh, and if you can scroll down, it'll show you what they're immune to, what they're weak against, and if they absorb anything. And any status immunities they have. Could be useful. And there's a separate one for monsters and boss monsters. And status... Now, you might have noticed, Biggs and Wedge, it won't let me access their equipment. That's because they're... well... Anyway, but if you pull up their status, it'll show you what they're equipped with. And also their stats. Anyway, moving on. I almost said something spoilery. Alright, onward! Alright, time for our first boss. So, this boss is kind of a lesson in the ATB gauge. It'll let you get a couple hits in, and then when it makes that sound, it withdraws into its shell. Use that time to heal your characters, because you do not want to attack its shell. It will counterattack with a powerful lightning-based attack, which could kill somebody. I love the game's boss music, by the way. Oh well. I was waiting for that. So a lot of the, not so much the music, but the music cues in the iOS version are based on the Game Boy Advance version, which... and a lot of the sounds too, which is a little disappointing because the Game Boy Advance version messed up some of the sounds and quite a few of the cues on the music. Okay, so that inflicted him with slow. You'll notice he's glowing white. That means that he's been inflicted with the status effect slow, so his speed is cut, I think, in half. It just means his ATB gauge rises slower. But yeah, the music is, I would say, on par with the Super Nintendo version, which has the best music in my opinion. But again, it carries over a lot of the bad... Ooh. Oh, right. I love the boss deaths, too. It makes me sad because there's a lot of things that the Super Nintendo version got right that the Game Boy Advance version doesn't. Oh, and if an enemy is about to die from your attack, your targeting will automatically default to a different enemy. It won't let you target an enemy that's about to die. Now, if you've already targeted an enemy and another character's attack kills it, your character will automatically target another enemy. Which is nice. Oh, hey. That must be the Frozen Esper. In the original, when the thing made that chime sound, the ice kinda shimmered a little bit, which was a really nice effect. But got lost on the iOS and Android version. Uh-oh. Wedge is gone. Biggs is gone too. So the kind of spoilery, well, she just blew up. The kind of spoilery thing I was about to say was that Biggs and Wedge are temporary characters. So at this point we get to name our green-haired character, and every time a new character appears and you get to name them, the screen goes dark, and a brief description of that character appears below them, which I think is really cool. So I will be using the default names for all the characters, and if you do change a character, want to change a character's name, just be aware that you can only make their names 6 characters long. Alright, so we need to follow him, but first... So, anytime you can pick up an item or talk to someone, it'll be indicated by an exclamation mark bubble above the character's head. Woo, elixir. That's nice. That's really nice. We'll be finding quite a few of those. Oh. Well, just doing that, change the music. Okay. Alright, so let's escape from these guys. Uh-oh, they spotted us. So the translation here is based on the Game Boy Advance version, which was an updated version of the Super Nintendo translation. Ooh, save point, but I'm not going to use that now. Which changed things around a bit. Okay, so there are chests up there, but I'm not going to grab them. There are certain chests in places where if you leave them alone for a while and grab them later, the items will be upgraded. These are some of those chests, the chests in here, and we won't be coming back for those for a very long time. Anyway, so the Game Boy Advance version updated the text from what was used in the Super Nintendo version. The Super Nintendo version isn't bad, per se. I like it. A lot of people love it, and actually prefer it to the Game Boy Advance translation, but it was, no, that looks like a door. But there were a lot of restrictions that were in it based on Nintendo of America's censorship at the time, which aren't present in the Game Boy Advance version. So, the Game Boy Advance version, there are places where it's a little bit more poetic, things are a bit clearer. I do like it. The PlayStation version, don't play that one unless you absolutely have to. Out of all the versions, it is by far the worst. They change a few things around about the translation, but for the most part, it's the Super Nintendo version translation, and the sound quality is terrible. And there's a lot of slowdown in the game. The Game Boy Advance version, the sound quality is not great. The graphics are the same as the Super Nintendo version, but it does have the upgraded translation. So, if you were going to play one, I would say Super Nintendo, iOS, Game Boy Advance, PlayStation 1. That's the order that I would pick. Okay, we fell in a hole. That can't have been good for Tara. And she passed out. I mean, if you fell in a deep hole, you probably would too. Assistant terminology. Alright, Locke to the rescue. Oh man, sorry, did I say Locke to the rescue? Of course! Moogles know who the good guys are. So this is something that's unique to this game. You have 3 teams, and each team, you can switch between them and control all 3 teams to defeat the enemies. So if we go here, Locke and his 3 companions, Moglin, Mogret, and Moggy. Locke is equipped with a dagger, leather cap, and leather armor. Of course, we can't access the Moogles because they're temporary, but if we look at their status, the Mithril Spear and a buckler, the Morning Star and a buckler, and Mithril Claws and a buckler. Alright, and then if I hit right bumper, I can switch to the next party consisting of Mog, Malulu, Moggen, and Mogel. Oh, we can access Mog's equipment. Interesting. Well, we won't worry about that for right now. Malulu has a chain flail, Moggen has a mithril sword, and Mogel has a moonring blade. And then if we look at the last party, we have Mogsy, Mogwin, Mugmug, and Cosmog. Mogsy has a chocobo brush, Mogwin has a mithril spear, Mugmug has a mithril sword, and Cosmog has a boomerang. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to Mog's part. Oh wow, well, that took too long. Okay, good, we took care of it. New dance? Wonder what that means. Well, this will allow me to showcase something. If an enemy party runs up into a team you're not controlling, that team will automatically be thrown into battle. Really hoping that. Really hoping to conserve this team's HP, but okay, whatever. Anyway, back to Mog's party, and so mastered a new dance. Huh. Oh, Mog has an ability called Dance. Twilight Requiem. Let's see what that does. Okay, so basically what Mog's dance ability does is you lose control of him for the rest of the battle. But he gains access to 4 powerful attacks. These attacks are based on terrain. Since we're in a cave, Twilight Requiem is a cave dance, I guess. So Cave-In deals a percentage of the enemy's health and leaves them with a status effect that causes their HP to slowly decline. I wonder if we can see the rest of his while here. So he has 2 more. Uh-oh. Malulu! Okay, I'm gonna switch to Mogsy's party. Ah! No! No, you. No, you. You've already hurt Locke enough. Quick, Cosmog! Attack! Okay. Well, that's it for, yeah, that's it for the roaming enemies, so... Back to Locke, and back to Mog, and so... Since we can access Mog's equipment, we can take Mog's equipment. Now, going to Locke... we should be fine. We can take that Mithril shield. Locke doesn't have a shield. But we can take that Mithril shield that we took from Mog and give it to Locke. And that will be his best shield for a very long time. I think we'll be okay. Let's, go down here. Talk to this guy, and oh, time for a boss fight. Ow. Ah! No! Not my Moogle! Oh, come on. Ow. Yes, okay. Let's see if we can take this guy down quickly enough. Come on. Oh no. Yes! Okay! Congratulations! We just witnessed the precursor to Final Fantasy VII's Limit Breaks. That was called a Desperation Attack. Each character in the game has a special attack that when they are at I think it's 1/16 of their HP, they have a chance to use an attack. Very powerful attack. You notice that did over 1,000 damage to that guy, and we're only level 7. So, yeah. That was like I said, that was the precursor to Final Fantasy VII's Limit Breaks. And they're really cool. Each playable character in the game has one. Well, with 2 exceptions. Anyway, the Moogles helped us save the day. Now we're gonna escape with Terra. we go up here, back into Narche... I'm sorry if I mispronounce things. There's not really a pronunciation guide on most of these names, so... we gotta hightail it south to Figaro. First things first. Okay, locks at full HP. That mithril knife I stole from the guy. It's better than the dagger he already has equipped, so we're gonna equip him with it. And we're gonna head down and talk to this guy. Alright. So let's go check it out. Adventuring School. Yes, and they are very useful. Like he said, they fully restore your HP and your MP. You'll run into quite a few of those throughout the course of the game. So that's basically what we already saw. That's useful. All the controller commands he's giving you are based on if you are not using a controller. So basically, if you're using a keyboard, I mean. So for example, in the setting with the 3 parties on my controller, I use left bumper and right bumper to switch between them. Well, they said left shift and right shift. That's useful. Fortunately, the pot will, your lead character will get an exclamation point over their heads if the pot has an item. Ooh, treasure chest. Ah! Okay, there are treasure chests in the world that contain monsters. Later in the game, there will be a lot of them. But generally, you get really good items from them. Alright. Which is nice. Yeah, that just went through all the status effects represented by the glowing colors. We already ran into Slow in the boss fight against Ymir. Sleeping bag. A sleeping bag is an item that can only be used at a save point or on the world map, and it fully, as it says, fully restores one person's HP and MP. If your item, if your inventory gets a little too cluttered and disorganized, you can use sort. It will automatically sort everything for you. And then rare, just some items that may or may not have storyline significance. That's useful. Yeah, I mentioned that. Okay, so let's demonstrate that. So, pressing left brings me over to the character's portraits, and if you hit the command button twice, you can change their rows. So Locke is now in the back row, which means that he'll take less damage from enemies, but his attacks will also deal less damage. I'm going to put him back in the front row because he's mainly a physical attacker. Terra, with her magic, you can put her in the back row. It's probably safer for her there. Also, you can hit command on one character's portrait, and then you change the order of battle, and it also changes who your lead character is. Since I put Terra in the lead position, now I'm going to put Locke back in the lead position, and Locke's in the lead. Doesn't really change much, just who the lead character is. Okay, we'll come back later then. Alright, let's head to the world map. And head to Figaro, which I will do next time. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, I love this game. I love everything about it. And I really look forward to doing it with you all. So, let's save, and once we've saved, we can return to the title screen. So thank you all for joining me, and have a great day.